views all its portfolio at a glance, stays on top of news and market trends, executes his trading fast, and he does these and more, all by himself. Now that's what makes Josh the coolest guy. Won't you rather be like Josh? Get on board. Log on to www.armstocktrade.com and make money now.
Or download the ARM Stock Trade app on your mobile app store.
With critical focus on the Nigerian economy, we see the bigger picture.
And a bit of news, Nigeria-India trade.
Business Express on Smooth 98.1.
Business Express on Smooth 98.1. Brought to you by ARM. Local and global market opportunities safely at your fingertips.
Smooth 98.1, love music, love life. I'm Ayo Mairo-Ese. It is 6:31 a.m. Tuesday, 25th of May, 2021, and it's time for today's edition of Business Express 981. I have Rotus with me. Good morning, Rotus. How are you today?
Fine, thank you. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning to our special guests.
Excellent. Our special guest is Temi Peters from ARM. Good morning, Temi. How are you today?
I'm fine. Good morning. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Everyone.
Excellent. Thank you. Right. If you'd like to join the conversation this morning, you can do so by logging onto our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Smooth 981 FM Lagos. You can also use the chat box to send a message. We're also on Twitter at Smooth 981 FM. Use the hashtag Business Express 981. And of course, using our WhatsApp platform, which is 0809 444-0981. Rotus, today is decision day for the CBN's Monetary Policy Committee. Please take us through this and other stories for today.
Indeed, yeah. So they started yesterday. The decision is today. Rate is at 11.5. Temi, considering, I guess, inflation, GDP, what do you think the outcome will be today?
I think, like most people, we expect them to just keep rates exactly where they are. The whole idea is to encourage growth, and I mean, look at it. We saw the growth numbers coming on Sunday. They're not. I mean, we're still growing. Some people don't believe those numbers are real, but we are still. These numbers show that we are still growing, and so I expect them to just stay on this path to encourage further growth. I know inflation is slightly down as well, so I expect them to just steady on this course and just stay. They want to keep on encouraging growth. I mean, obviously, what's needed for growth is actual structural changes rather than some arbitrary interest rates. But then from this side, I expect them to keep rates where they are. No surprises expected
for that. So there's is there any chance there might spring a surprise? I mean, this is because I remember the last time. I think what was the last time they hiked rates? 12% or so. A lot of folks were thinking that they would stay the course. Any chance of a surprise? Because I've spoken to analysts. Everybody is saying what you're saying, that they think they'll just stay where they are.
It's always a chance, but then I don't see why. Because, like I said, growth is only at 0.51% year on year, and the only reason you hike inflation rate is to hike interest rates to stop inflation. And really our interest rates keep mixing up. Our interest rate doesn't really have that much of an effect on inflation, So again, it would just be a detrimental thing, increasing the interest rates, because it wouldn't really stop the inflation. Again, our inflation is structural as well. So if you want to fight that, the structural things that need to be put in place to bring that much lower than the 18% that we're seeing. So obviously there's always a chance, they really just do what they want, and it doesn't really flow with economic policy most times. So there's always a chance, but I think we fully expect them to just keep rates where they are, so yeah, that's just where I'm seeing things.
This didn't make news. I don't know why, because when the NAFEX rates on the central bank's website, when it was removed, everybody was talking about it. People thought that there had been some devaluation or something that had happened. But the CBN was saying, hey, look, we've been using NAFEX now for quite a while. So now, if you go on the I actually literally just noticed it this morning. If you go on the CBN rate, they've now officially put the NAFEX rate, the I&E window rates. I guess, is that just to underline it? Is there any news there? I mean, as far as that move is concerned?
No, not really. I mean, I guess it's just what you're saying, just underlining it. I mean, I know they are trying to converge all their rates together, so this might be some sort of symbolic thing, saying, because again, sometimes we know like there are some rates they use in the shadows, and the rates they use officially. So maybe this just to like underline it, just to get it out there that this is what's happening. It's a good symbol, I guess, because again, but yeah, I was surprised. I mean,
just for money. Yeah, exactly. Is that this one? So everyone stop referring to 380 per dollar. That's gone. There's no more 380 per dollar. I had to call out, there was one website that likes posting stats, and they were comparing minimum wage under Jonathan to minimum wage today, and they were dividing by 380. I had to go and post it and say, hey, no, they're not using 380 anymore. So it's 410, at least 410, 411, whatever the NAFEX rates, you can check on FMDQ. Yeah, listeners, that's the rate to use right now as far as the central bank is concerned. We'll see how the mission to converge the rates, we'll see how that one works out. Okay, so I guess MPC, we believe they will hold. We'll find out about 2 o'clock, 2:30 this afternoon when the decision is put out there. NAFEX rates is what we're using. I thought this was very interesting. Yomi the Prof wrote an article. Today is the 1-year anniversary of the death of George Floyd. And I thought, well, this article was very interesting because what he did, he pulled out workplace lessons from the George Floyd incident. And he talked about abuse of power by state employees, but it wasn't just state employees. He talked about a whole number of other issues in the workplace, in the work environment, lessons that we can learn from what happened. And I was like, I kept thinking about it just in terms of, this is, an American issue with that, but he pulled out a lot of points. So Temi, what did you think of the article as far as how the workplace in Nigeria is structured? Supervisors listening to employees, people that have a tendency to abuse power. Yeah, what do you think?
I mean, I thought it was interesting as well because it was refreshing, the new take on it, because you're trying to stay away from actually, obviously, the huge issue there, like focus, and then just trying to draw lessons from that to apply to the workplace. And I thought the parallel lines he drew, they were interesting. He talked about remembering our humanity, and I thought that was a big one because sometimes in the office you kind of forget that that there's another complete human being that you're dealing with as well. And if we start treating people with more humanity as well, then they could. The benefits of that are huge. And you just because people complain about, feeling some kind of way in work-life kind of balance, is because it might have to do with the fact that, especially in some big corporations, you just see people as numbers. You don't really see them as human.
And there was a part in that article where he says, if you have a tendency to mistreat people in the office, or you have a mean streak, or you just have a tendency to be wicked, you should seek professional help. And on Business Hub, which is our SME show on Tuesdays, we had a therapist that said, because we're looking at the business model of therapy, saying that the number of Nigerian companies have in-house therapists that talk to employees, gauge their mental health, and make sure that they don't, fly off the handle or mistreating people. Do we have to your mind, do we have, I don't know if you guys have an in-house therapist at ARM, but do we have enough of them, or is this something that should be, I guess, should be scaled more?
We don't have one at RM, but obviously with with our health insurance, they do provide. I mean, there are services there for anyone who needs it. But I don't think as a whole. Again, I'm not. This is just my opinion. I don't think as a whole it's been accepted or being used enough in Nigeria. I think a lot of people would benefit from a little bit of therapy. You know, a lot of people are, wound up, they're angry, and they just need to find constructive ways or healthy ways to deal with a lot of issues, trauma. Yeah, I think kind of people go through it and just deal with it. I think obviously some kind of therapy will help.
Yeah.
And because you don't deal with it.
Is the work, I want to ask you this, is the, great stuff. Ayo, you can jump in here. Yeah. And for our listeners, I will use the last few minutes to answer this question. Is the Nigerian workplace healthy? Does Nigeria, Ayo, why are you shaking your head? Is the Nigerian workplace healthy? That's the
Nigeria climate is not healthy. From the moment you step out of your house and you have to face the horrendous traffic, you're already set up for a very chaotic, in quotes. You have to protect yourself really, and then you get into work because we don't have very strong we do have strong labor laws, but again the challenge with a number of laws in Nigeria is enforcement and compliance, and that's the unfortunate thing. And guess what, you cannot complain because the economy is such that you are just they tell you in fact to be grateful for the fact that you have a job. So don't complain, just accept anything. And so we need therapists. Let me hand over to Temi.
No, totally. I totally agree with that. It's true. I mean, I always just go back to, you see the way people drive. You guys can't be normal if you drive like they're so angry. It's a fight. Imagine waking up at 5 o'clock and that's already how you are. You need help. You need to talk to someone.
You have mean bosses.
Yeah,
mean bosses. You cannot really report your bosses because in some cases because there's no structure of reporting, there's no disciplinary policy in the organization that is being enforced. There's no mode of reporting. So and then culture comes into play as well. So you're not supposed to challenge or question authority. So you have to take anything that's handed to you. If you speak up, it's that you're ungrateful or you are rebellious. Yet in other parts of the world, you can actually, if you have a grievance against your boss, there are certain channels of reporting authority that you can take. There are options for you. So it's really like Rotus, I'm sure if you took that part, I wish you asked this question at the beginning so that we could have enough comments for people to respond, even if they wanted to anonymously as to their working condition, and if it is healthy enough, or if they need, even the boss need the therapist. So from the boss to all right, let's take some comments. Benga comment says, too many things are wrong with the Nigerian workplace. Just go to the factories, that's another way, and see how workers are treated. Which I was reading up, I can't remember now, the bridge in America, that the builder insisted that there must be a safety net that was put under so that accidents would be prevented, and it prevented 19 deaths. When I read that article, I remember the number of deaths that happen on our construction sites, those that are reported and those that are not reported, and those that the builders face consequences and those that they don't face consequences. So it's okay. Now we have a lot of comments. Let me just stop talking and take the comments from our listeners. Damilola from Aja says, Rotus, our workplace ain't healthy. The things they do made me leave the bank. Same sectors. The bank says, if you work with a certain bank that's fond of, it's a healthy environment. Oh, okay, it says it's a healthy environment. That's good. Then we have Tokwe from Lagos saying many Nigerian workplaces are extremely toxic. So much servant, slave, leader style. Only very few make you smile in your heart and pocket. And then Oluziu says, dear Rotus AME, nice article by Yomi the Prof. We also need to energize our Mental Health Awareness Week. That's something else. Yeah, very important. Then Okoro says, workplace healthiness, you can't complain. Someone told me the other day that I begged to apply. And then this rabbit hole that Rotus wants us to go down is unending. We can go on for hours, says Ayo. All right, that's all we can take. It's now 6:45. Thank you so much, Temi Peters from ARM, and of course, thank you, Rotus. You can take the conversation online. If you still want to talk about workplace being toxic or non-toxic, you can go onto our Twitter handle at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag BusinessExpress981, and let's really delve into this conversation. All right, thank you so much, Rotus. In a few minutes, we'll be having Freshly Pressed 981. We have a number of headline stories to get through, important stories. You can actually read ahead by going on to any of our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, or WhatsApp story to read ahead, and we'll be joining us with some analysts at 7:30 a.m. In the meantime, we enjoy some smooth music here on Smooth 98.1 after this break.
Business Express on Smooth.
Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. So please head on to our Twitter handle at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag BusinessExpress981 to let us know how